Found out about my wife's 20-year-old affair, told her 7 words that ended everything. For context, I'm 52, own a construction company that I built from nothing, married for 25 years to a woman I thought was my partner. 2 kids, son is 28, daughter is 24. Both successful, both thought their parents had the perfect marriage. 3 weeks ago, Tuesday afternoon. I'm home early because a job site got rained out. There's a package on the porch, no return address, just my name in shaky handwriting. Inside is a letter and a manila envelope that felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. The letter was from a man named Gregory. Terminal cancer, weeks to live, wanted to clear his conscience. He'd been effing my wife for our entire marriage. The whole goddamn thing. I didn't believe it at first. Thought it was some sick joke. Then I opened the envelope. Photos. Dozens of them. Some recent, some so old they were starting to yellow. Hotel receipts. Handwritten notes in my wife's unmistakable script. A timeline he'd kept, dates, locations, even the excuses she'd used to get away. Here's the kicker, they'd been together before we met. She was dating both of us, chose me because I had better long-term potential. His words. But she never stopped seeing him. Not when we got engaged. Not when we married. Not when our kids were born. 25 effing years. I sat in my truck for 3 hours, just staring at this SHT. My hands weren't shaking, I wasn't sad or hysterical. I was calculating. Every synapse in my brain firing at once, connecting dots I'd been too trusting to see. The book club that met every other Thursday but never seemed to read any books. The weekend conferences for her real estate job that never had any follow-up CE credits. The time she said she miscarried our 3rd child and needed to go stay with her sister to grieve, Gregory had receipts from a bed and breakfast 2 states over for that same weekend. I went inside, kissed her hello like nothing was wrong, listened to her talk about her day. Watched her lie to my face about where she'd been that afternoon. Book club ran late. Sure it did. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to confront her. I wasn't going to rage or cry or beg for answers. I was going to destroy her the way she'd destroyed us, methodically, completely, and with the same cold calculation she'd used to deceive me for a quarter century. I spent the next 2 weeks becoming a detective. Hired a pie through a business contact. Got access to phone records, credit card statements, everything. The pattern was so obvious once I knew what to look for. Every girl's trip, every late showing, every migraine that sent her to bed early, it was all there in black and white. She had a credit card I didn't know about. A bank account with regular deposits. Gregory wasn't rich, but he'd been supplementing her income for years. She'd been playing both of us like effing fiddles. The pie found more recent evidence too. Gregory might have been dying, but she'd already moved on to someone else. Another ex from college who'd recently divorced. The cycle continuing. I documented everything. Created files, backed them up in multiple locations. Consulted with the best divorce attorney in the state, a shark who'd handled divorces for 3 of my biggest competitors. Turns out, when you own a business worth 8 figures and have ironclad documentation of adultery, you have options. I moved money legally but strategically. Changed beneficiaries. Had property titles examined. Did everything by the book but with surgical precision. She was a part-time real estate agent who worked maybe 20 hours a week. I'd paid for everything, the house, the cars, the kids' college, her effing fake TTS. All of it traceable to my income, my work, my sweat. Then I planned the finale. Our 25th anniversary was coming up. I told her I wanted to do something special, a vow renewal with our closest friends and family. She ate it up, started planning immediately. Posted about it on social media, bragging about her amazing husband. The comments made me want to puke. If only they knew she'd been raw dogging another man while I was building the business that paid for her entire lifestyle. I handled the invitations personally. Told her I wanted it to be my gift to her. Invited both kids, her parents, her sister, my brother, and about a dozen of our closest friends. Including her best friend who'd been covering for her for years, though she didn't know I knew that yet. The dinner was last Saturday. Private dining room at the best steakhouse in the city. I'd hired a photographer to capture the special moment. Everyone thought I'd gone all out for our silver anniversary. She wore a silver dress, gave a speech about how grateful she was for our life together. How I'd been her rock, her provider, her best friend. I watched her performance and felt nothing. This woman was a stranger wearing my wife's face. When dessert came out, I stood up to give my speech. Thanked everyone for coming, talked about the journey of marriage, the importance of trust. Then I said I had a special anniversary gift for everyone, a memoir of our 25 years together. I handed out the manila envelopes. The room went silent as people opened them. I'd organized everything chronologically. Photos of her with Gregory dated and time-stamped. Credit card statements highlighted. Hotel receipts. Phone records. The fake miscarriage documentation compared to the bed and breakfast receipt. 25 years of deception laid out like a forensic report. Her face went white. Then red. Then white again. "What is this?" she stammered. This isn't." I leaned in close, my voice steady and low so only she could hear. "You buried us, now dig your grave." Then I stood up, straightened my tie, and addressed the room. "The divorce papers are in your envelope too, sweetheart. You'll find I've been quite generous. You get to keep the car you drove here and the clothes on your back. Everything else was purchased with money from my business, which predates our marriage. My attorney has all the documentation." Her father stood up, face purple with rage, at her, not me. Her mother was crying. My son looked like he'd been punched in the gut. My daughter wouldn't even look at her. I walked out of that room with my head high, got in my truck, and drove to the apartment I'd quietly rented 2 weeks prior. Everything I needed was already there. I'd moved out while she was at her last book club meeting. That was 5 days ago. Since then, she's been staying in a motel because her parents won't let her come home. Her best friend called to apologize for covering for her, claims she thought it had ended years ago. She's blown up my phone with roughly 200 texts ranging from denial to anger to begging. My kids are in therapy but have both cut her off completely. My attorney has already filed papers and frozen her access to all joint accounts. Her real estate license is under review because she used company resources to facilitate her affairs. Gregory's widow sent me a letter apologizing, said she'd suspected but never had proof. I'm not proud of how I handled it. But I'm not ashamed either. She stole 25 years of my life, made me live a lie, exposed me to God knows what diseases, traumatized our children with her deception. She deserved worse than what she got. The business is thriving. I'm in therapy to process this SHT. Started hitting the gym again, eating better. My brother has been a rock, staying with me most nights so I'm not alone. I know I'll eventually have to feel the grief of losing what I thought I had. Right now, I'm still in warfare mode. Still protecting myself and my assets. Still making sure she can't touch what I built while she was effing another man in hotels I paid for. They say the best revenge is living well. I intend to test that theory. Update 1, posted 2 days later. Jesus Christ, I didn't expect this to blow up. My brother told me I'm an idiot for posting this while the divorce is pending, but my attorney says I'm good as long as I don't disclose anything that could identify us. So here's an update. First, to answer some common questions. Yes, I got STD tested. Clean, thank F. Yes, the kids are mine. Had them quietly tested through one of those ancestry services months ago when I first started suspecting something was off. No, I didn't know before Gregory's letter. I was a trusting idiot who believed his wife's lies. Yes, this is real. I wish it wasn't. Now for the update. She showed up at my job site yesterday. Full makeup, dress I bought her for our 20th anniversary, trying to look like the woman I fell in love with. Security stopped her at the gate, I'd already briefed them, but she stood there screaming for me to talk to her until the police arrived. Got a call from my attorney an hour later. She's claiming emotional abuse and demanding half the business plus alimony. Good effing luck with that. Every text she sent admitting to the affair has been documented. Every voicemail where she begs me to forgive her mistakes has been saved. My attorney actually laughed when he heard her demands. My son called last night. He's been going through old family photos and noticed things he'd missed before. Gregory in the background of pictures from girls-only vacations. Timestamps that don't match her stories. He's torturing himself trying to figure out how many family memories are tainted. Told him to burn the albums if it helps. Make new memories that aren't built on lies. My daughter is handling it differently. She's gone full investigator mode, creating a timeline of every lie, every deception. Found evidence we'd missed, charges to a pharmacy near Gregory's house for Plan B when she was supposedly at her mother's. Jewelry I never bought her hidden in old purses. She wants to understand the pathology. I told her understanding won't change what happened, but if it helps her process, have it. The real estate angle is getting interesting. Turns out she was using her access to vacant properties for her hookups. Her broker is conducting an internal investigation. She'll likely lose her license, which means her only source of independent income is gone. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Had to block her sister yesterday. She called crying, saying I was too harsh, that everyone makes mistakes. 25 years of effing another man isn't a mistake. It's a life choice. It's thousands of individual decisions to betray your family. Save your tears for someone who gives a SHT. The motel kicked her out. Apparently, she was disturbing other guests with her late-night crying calls. She's now staying with a friend from high school, one of the few people who didn't get an envelope at the dinner. That friend's husband called me to apologize, said he had no idea and she's only there temporarily. I told him it wasn't his fault but appreciated the heads up. My attorney is pushing for a quick settlement. With the evidence we have, she knows she's effed. Her attorney, who she can barely afford, is advising her to take whatever we offer. Right now, that's the car, her personal belongings, and $50,000, enough to start over somewhere else. More than she deserves but worth it to get her gone. The Gregory situation gets worse. Found out from his widow that my wife was at the hospital when he died. Signed in as his sister. Held his hand while he passed. All while I was at home making dinner for when she got back from her client meeting. The widow found their decades of love letters. She burned them and sent me the ashes with a note, here's what their love was worth. I scattered those ashes in the trash where they belong. People keep asking if I regret the public reveal. If I should have handled it privately. F that. She made me live a public lie for 25 years. Everyone thought we had the perfect marriage while she was getting railed by another man. The least I could do was make the truth equally public. I'm not healing yet. Still too angry for that. But I'm functioning. Business is actually up. Turns out going scorched earth on your cheating wife earns respect in the construction world. Who knew? Started looking at properties out of state. Thinking about a fresh start once the divorce is final. Somewhere with mountains. Somewhere I've never been with her. Somewhere I can build something real this time. To everyone saying I went too far, she spent 25 years lying to my face, effing another man, and stealing my life. I spent 2 weeks planning her downfall. If anything, I showed restraint. More updates as they come. Still in warfare mode. Still standing. Update 2, posted 1 week later. The SHT has officially hit every fan in a 3-state radius. Remember how I mentioned she'd moved on to a new guy? Well, that exploded spectacularly. Turns out new guy is married. Was married. His wife found my post. She reached out through my attorney with her own evidence. New guy and my soon-to-be ex have been meeting up for 6 months. The kicker? They were planning to leave their spouses and run off together. Had a whole effing exit strategy planned for after our anniversary. She was going to take half my money and start fresh with him. New guy's wife went nuclear. Made my reveal dinner look like a tea party. She sent the evidence to his entire family, his employer, and posted it on every social media platform. He's a financial advisor who marketed himself as a family values expert. His firm dropped him within 48 hours. My wife tried to show up at my apartment at 2 a.m., drunk and sobbing. Apparently, new guy dumped her once his life imploded. Claimed she seduced him and ruined his marriage. The security footage of her pounding on my door, mascara running, begging me to let her in because she had nowhere else to go was pathetic. I watched from my window, sipping whiskey, and waited for the cops to remove her. My daughter found more evidence. She got into her mother's cloud storage, password was our anniversary date, the irony, and discovered a effing spreadsheet. This woman kept a detailed log of her encounters. Dates, times, locations, what lies she told me to get away. 25 years of data like she was tracking a science experiment. My daughter printed it out, 47 pages, and gave it to my attorney. She also gave me a copy. I burned it in my backyard while drinking the bottle of champagne we'd been saving for our anniversary. The financial forensics came back. Gregory had been giving her about $2,000 a month for the last decade. She'd squirreled away almost $200,000 in various accounts. My attorney is going after all of it as marital assets hidden during the marriage. She'll be lucky to keep the car at this point. Her real estate license is gone. Turns out using client properties for affairs violates about 6 different ethical standards. Who would have thought? She's now unemployed, living with a high school friend who's getting sick of her SHT, and has no marketable skills beyond lying and effing other women's husbands. My son finally broke his silence. Sent her a letter that I'll summarize because it was brutal. Listed every major life event she'd tainted with her deception. Calculated how much time she'd stolen from our family for her affairs, roughly 6,000 hours. Informed her he's changing his last name to my mother's maiden name. Told her the only thing she taught him was how to spot a narcissist. She tried to respond. He had her letter returned unopened with no such person at this address written on it. The business is thriving. Turns out my story has made me something of a folk hero in our industry. 3 major contracts came through this week alone, all from guys who've been through similar SHT. One client specifically said he wanted to work with someone who handles business properly. Started therapy, individual, not couples obviously. Therapist says I'm processing remarkably well for someone whose entire life was revealed to be a lie. Told her I'd rather be angry than broken. She said that's normal but warned the grief will come eventually. Right now, I'm fine with anger. Anger gets SHT done. Her parents reached out. They're horrified, ashamed, and completely supportive of me. Her father offered to pay for my kids' therapy. I declined but appreciated the gesture. He said something that stuck with me, I raised her better than this. I don't know where we went wrong. I told him parents can't control who their children become. He's a good man saddled with a disappointment for a daughter. The divorce is moving fast. Her attorney advised her to take the settlement, the car, her clothes, $50,000, and a one-way ticket to wherever she wants to disappear to. She has until Friday to decide. If she doesn't take it, we go to trial where every piece of evidence becomes public record. Including the spreadsheet. Including the pharmacy receipts. Including the fact that she was effing Gregory the night before our wedding. Someone asked if I've cried yet. No. Not once. Maybe that makes me a cold tart, but I've shed enough tears over the years wondering why our marriage felt hollow. Now I know. Those tears were wasted on a mirage. I won't waste any more. The apartment is starting to feel less like a bunker and more like home. Bought real furniture. Hung some art. Got a dog, German Shepherd named Duke. He's better company than she ever was and significantly more loyal. My brother asked if I'm dating yet. Told him I need to bury this corpse before I think about anything else. Besides, trust isn't exactly my strong suit right now. Maybe someday. Maybe not. Either way, I'll be fine. To everyone saying I'm handling this too well, that I must be a sociopath, F off. People process trauma differently. I'm choosing controlled demolition over chaotic collapse. When you've been lied to for 25 years, you earn the right to handle the truth however keeps you functional. Still standing. Still fighting. Still winning. Update 3, posted 2 weeks later. Final update, because this chapter of my life ends Monday. She took the settlement. Broke down in her attorney's office, apparently. Sobbed about how unfair it was, how she'd given me the best years of her life. Her attorney had to remind her that those same years were spent effing another man. Reality's a BCH when you can't lie your way out of it. The meeting was yesterday. I didn't attend, my attorney handled everything. She showed up looking rough. Hair unwashed, no makeup, wearing sweats. The woman who wouldn't go to the mailbox without full face on. My attorney said she looked defeated. Good. She tried one last manipulation. Claimed she was pregnant. My attorney shut that down immediately. I'd had a vasectomy 15 years ago that she didn't know about. Never told her because I wanted to see if she'd try to pass off another man's kid as mine. Guess I was more suspicious than I realized, even back then. The look on her face when that bomb dropped was apparently priceless. The kids are doing better. Son got into therapy and is working through his anger. Daughter compiled all her research into what she calls the deception files, says it helps her feel like she has control over the narrative. They've both legally changed their names. She'll find out when she gets the divorce papers. My business just landed the biggest contract in company history. 8-figure commercial development that'll keep us busy for 2 years. The client mentioned he respected a man who handles his affairs decisively. Word's gotten around. Turns out burning your cheating wife publicly is good for business in construction. Who knew? The house sold. Above asking price, cash offer, closes next month. Already bought land in Montana, 40 acres with mountain views. Going to build something custom. Something that's never been tainted by her presence. Breaking ground in spring. Her situation is pathetic. The friend kicked her out after she tried to seduce the friend's husband. Currently living in an extended stay motel that charges by the week. Working as a cashier at a big box store. One of my guys saw her there last week, said she looked like a completely different person. 25 years of lies aged her real quick once the truth came out. New guy's wife sent a thank you card. Classy woman. Said I saved her years of deception. We had coffee last week, not romantic, just two people who survived the same hurricane comparing damage. She's handling it with grace. Makes me wonder if I was too harsh. Then I remember the spreadsheet and think, nah, I was just right. Gregory's widow sent one final package. His journal from the early days. Wanted me to see how it started. I read 2 pages and threw it in the fire. Don't need those details. Don't want them. She also included a check for $100,000, said it was my money anyway since Gregory had been spending what I provided. Donated it to a charity that helps men recover from spousal betrayal. Tax write-off and karma points. The best friend who'd been covering for her reached out again. Swears she only helped a handful of times, thought the affair ended a decade ago. Says my wife was a master manipulator who convinced her it was true love. I told her complicity is complicity. She chose a cheater over integrity. Live with it. My therapist says I'm avoiding grief by staying busy. Maybe. But I've built an empire while avoiding grief, so I'll take productivity over paralysis any day. The grief might come when I'm sitting on my Montana porch, looking at mountains instead of lies. Or it might not. Either way, I'll handle it like I've handled everything else, on my terms. Her final attempt at contact was a 10-page letter delivered through her attorney. Full of justifications, blame shifting, and one laughable claim that I pushed her into Gregory's arms by working too much. BCH, I was working to pay for the life you were living. My attorney had it returned with a cease and desist order. Any further contact will violate the settlement terms. Monday morning, a judge will sign papers ending 25 years of marriage. I'll be at a job site, building something real while she becomes nothing more than an expensive lesson in trust. The boys want to take me out after, but I'd rather work. Rather create than commemorate. People ask if I have any regrets. Just one, I didn't catch her sooner. 25 years is a long time to waste on a lie. But I've got another 25 to 30 left if I'm lucky, and I'll be damned if I waste those too. Duke and I are heading to Montana next week to check on the land. He's never seen snow. Neither have I, really. She always wanted beach vacations. Turns out I'm a mountain guy. Turns out I'm a lot of things I never got to discover while playing husband to a ghost. To the men who reached out sharing similar stories, you're not alone. Document everything. Lawyer up. Don't let emotion override logic. You can fall apart after you've protected yourself. And you will survive this SHT, even when it feels like you won't. To the women who said I went too far, I didn't go far enough. She stole 25 years. I took 2 weeks to end it. That's a bargain in my book. To my kids, if you're reading this, I'm proud of you both. You're handling this with more maturity than most adults would. Your mother's choices don't define you. Build your own truth. And to her, if you found this, you got off easy. I could have destroyed you completely. Instead, I just told the truth. The fact that the truth destroyed you says everything about who you really are. Enjoy the bed you made. You'll be lying in it alone. This is my final update. Story's over. Time to write a new one. Still standing. Done fighting. Finally free. Epilogue, posted 6 months later. Said I wouldn't update again, but enough people have asked that I figured I'd give closure. Montana is everything I didn't know I needed. Built a 3,000 square feet cabin with my own hands and a small crew. Every nail, every board, every decision made without having to consider someone else's lies. Duke loves the snow. I love the silence. Kids visited for Christmas. First time we'd all been together since the reveal. Cooked dinner in my new kitchen, told stories by the fireplace, didn't mention her once. They're both thriving. Son got promoted, daughter graduated summa cum laude. They became stronger people through this SHT. Silver lining. The business runs itself now. Promoted my best foreman to operations manager, handle most things remotely. Fly back once a month to check on major projects. Amazing what you can accomplish when you're not managing someone else's deception. Dating isn't on the radar. Had a few offers, apparently being the guy who publicly nuked his cheating wife has a certain appeal. Not interested. Maybe someday. For now, it's just me, Duke, and 40 acres of truth. Got a letter from her last month. Forwarded through multiple attorneys to avoid violating the no contact order. She's in therapy, finding herself, wants me to know she's sorry. Burned it without reading past the first line. Some apologies come too late to matter. Her parents visit occasionally. Good people still dealing with the shame. They bring pictures of the kids, updates on the family. Never mention her. It's like she died, except worse, death has dignity. What she did doesn't. New guy's ex-wife is doing well. Remarried last month to a decent man who knows her worth. Sent me a wedding announcement with a note, good things can come from ashes. I sent a nice gift. Warriors recognize warriors. The anger faded somewhere around month 4. Didn't replace it with sadness like my therapist predicted. Replaced it with indifference. She's just someone I used to know who taught me an expensive lesson about trust. Worth every penny to learn it. People ask if I'm happy. Weird question. I'm free. I'm successful. I'm building a life based on truth instead of performance. If that's not happiness, it's close enough. My attorney sends updates occasionally. She's still in our old state, still working retail, still alone. Tried to date but word got around. Turns out publicly betraying your family for 25 years makes you unemployable in the relationship market. Karma's got a sense of humor. The mountain view from my porch is spectacular. Every morning I drink coffee and watch the sunrise over peaks that don't lie, don't cheat, don't pretend to be something they're not. It's the most honest relationship I've had in decades. To everyone who followed this story, thanks for the support. Your messages got me through some dark nights. Knowing I wasn't alone in this SHT helped more than you know. To anyone going through something similar, it gets better. Not easier, but better. The truth, however brutal, beats a beautiful lie every time. Rip off the band-aid. Deal with the wound. Heal properly. That's it. Story's truly over now. No more updates, no more drama, no more looking back. Just a man, his dog, and a mountain view that never lies. Finally home. Finally whole. Finally done. Edit, spelling and formatting. Also, to the person who found my business and sent a congratulations package, the whiskey was appreciated. Duke enjoyed the dog treats. Class act. Edit 2. No, I won't reveal locations or identifying details. Yes, this is real. No, I don't care if you believe me. Yes, I'm leaving this up despite my attorney's mild concern. Sometimes the truth needs to be told, legal risk be damned. Edit 3. Final edit, she found the post. Tried to sue for defamation. Judge threw it out. Truth is an absolute defense. Stay mad, sweetheart. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.